This is Alternative Political Analysis, and this video will be on Trump's cuts, executive orders, and military spending. He wants the Environmental Protection Agency cut by 24%, and the current Environmental Protection Agency budget is $8 billion per year, and that amounts to 0.2% of the total United States federal budget. And when Trump says he wants 24% of it cut, this amounts to $1.92 billion in cuts. And according to the New York Times, he wants to increase defense spending, and United States military spending is between $598.5 billion per year and $601 billion per year. And those statistics come from National Priorities and Business Insider. And according to SIPRI, the world total for military spending is $1.676 trillion. And as you can see from the chart in front of you, United States spends 36% of the world's combined military spending. And while the current administration can afford that and even more of it, apparently, they want school meals programs cut, and they need to straighten out their priorities, quite frankly, on that one. But the New York Times also reported that Trump wants to cut domestic agencies so he can keep campaign promises on Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And quite frankly, that's the silver lining in this dark cloud, to be quite frank. And over 50% of US discretionary spending is on the military, and that's non-mandatory spending. That is the part of the budget where the government administration can choose how they can spend it, and that shows where Washington DC's priorities lie. And worryingly, Trump wants to remove between 70% and 80% of corporate regulations, and we can see this in his executive orders. The one that said every new regulation must remove 2 existing regulations, and another executive order to all executive agencies to identify all unnecessary regulations. And this shows hypocrisy. Trump advocated Glass-Steagall restoration in July 2016, and it was such a big part of the campaign that it was in the GOP platform at their convention. Now that speaks volumes. And quite frankly, Americans support Glass-Steagall restoration. In September 2016, there was a petition with over 350,000 signatures delivered to Congress. In July 2014, there was a petition with 600,000 signatures. In October 2016, there was a poll by Lake Research Partners which showed that 70% of voters wanted Glass-Steagall restored. And Glass-Steagall separated commercial high street banking from investment banking. It prevented banks from dealing in non-government securities for customers, investing in non-investment grade securities for the banks, underwriting or distributing non-government securities, and sharing employees with banks that were involved in said activity. Bill Clinton repealed it. He said it was no longer appropriate, but it would have prevented banks investing in bad stock. It would have prevented reckless loans on bad credit. It had created a lot of debt, and the banks had so much debt that they needed to be bailed out by the people, and that was essentially unwarranted corporate welfare. And Glass-Steagall would have prevented banks passing around credit and debt through stock trading. And of course, we all remember the damage done to the global economy by the Wall Street crash. It would have prevented the government, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, and the Federal Reserve merry-go-round of bullshit. And I am referring to the revolving door policy of employment between said institutions. To summarise, Trump is acting like Reagan light, and if he foolishly pursues this, it will come back to bite him in the ass in 2020. There's no doubt about that. Also, it is worrying that the private prison for profit lobby have a hold on the current administration. The GEO group donated $100,000 to Trump's campaign, and that isn't the only hold they have on personnel within this administration. GEO and Corrections Corporation of America donated $1.6 million to the Republican Governors Association, and that organization bankrolled Mike Pence's Indiana campaigns. And that is an update on this current administration, and I would recommend that viewers check out the Alternative Political Analysis YouTube channel, Facebook page, and blog for more interesting posts and videos on this subject.